Guys, I'm back with another horror film. Today, we continue with the 407 flight series. This film is based on a real-life incident. There have been many air crash accidents in Thailand, causing a large number of passengers to die, but the airline, in order to save costs, turned the accident plane over and put it back into use. Jella is the flight attendant, looking at the plane about to take off. She always has a bad feeling. Awe is an engineer, doing the final check for the plane. Suddenly, a figure flashed from behind. Awe thought it was his own illusion, but when he was about to leave, he found the door of the cargo hold was locked, so he immediately called his colleagues with a walkie-talkie. However, the flight attendants were dancing, giving the passengers safety knowledge. They had no time to take care of him. As the plane slowly took off, the flight attendant began to prepare food for the passengers. I don't know what's going on with the cabinet in the cabin, can't even open it. Jella seems to have thought of something, just hit it with a punch. The door opened instantly. She remembers the last time there was an air crash, something similar happened. I have a stronger sense of premonition. At this moment, Jella noticed that it was cold behind her. As a result, she turned around. However, the strange thing was more than that. When Jella came to the cabin, the two passengers found her behind. She was following a pair of shoe prints, realized that there was something dirty on the plane. The monk was scared and immediately recited the sutra. At this time, the plane passed through a minefield. The fuselage began to shake violently. Awe in the cargo hold. Because of the lack of oxygen, he didn't even have the strength to stand up. I don't know if it was an illusion. He found the new plane. Suddenly became miserable. There were even a few ghost shadows. Awe was scared to death. Fortunately, the deputy captain found the warning lights of the cargo hold were flashing, so I went to check. That's how I saved Awe, but when the deputy captain went back, he found a lot of dirt on the ground. What was he thinking? A ghost shadow suddenly passed by. He turned the flashlight over, found that the cabin was miserable. He thought he was wrong, so he turned on the light of the cargo hold. Unexpectedly, the next second, I don't know what happened. When he returned to the cabin, he was already in a trance. Under Jella's notice, the body disappeared. What's more strange is that the original new plane, but now it's a mess. The air conditioning of the food truck suddenly fainted on the ground. Then all the passengers were as if they were possessed. The body began to twist unconsciously. Awe judged that this was the pressure of the cabin. Lack of oxygen, he told Jella to go and inform the captain. Put down the oxygen mask with all your strength. And then he passed out. When Jella came back, but found an old food truck was slowly pushed into the cargo hold. Jella was in trance. Awe, who suddenly woke up, was shocked. The two hurried to the front cabin, found that someone had died of lack of oxygen, emergency oxygen mask. It won't last long. Awe wanted to inform the captain, but after entering the password, the door to the cabin could not be opened. Inevitably, Awe had to get out of the cabin to repair the pressure system. At this point, the inside was in ruins. There was a ghost shadow flashing behind. Neither of them noticed. Continue to repair the pressure system, but soon, Jella was in a coma due to a lack of oxygen. In a daze, she saw a ghost shadow around Awe. At the same time, there was also a situation in the cargo hold. The old food truck appeared again. Everyone was scared. Only Jella ran forward to check. She pushed her hand, didn't find any abnormality, but when she turned around, the food truck disappeared. Then his girlfriend started to freak out. I don't know, cry. Don't play with me. Where is Jella? After saying she was in a daze again. With the passage of time, passengers are dying due to a lack of oxygen. Big sister in a daze. Found a strange girl staring at herself. She looked at the cargo hold. I don't know if it was an illusion. There was a ghost shadow everywhere. Fortunately, Awe was at the last moment. finally repaired the supply system. Then he took Jella back to the cargo hold. At this time, the big sister said, "I think everything that happened today, it's all about Jella, for everyone's safety." She let Jella roll to the back of the cabin. Away as a boyfriend, I had to leave with her. The result was surprisingly found. There was no passenger in the back of the cabin. When the two were in a daze, suddenly there was a loud noise outside. Then the strange laughter echoed around. Passengers were scared back and forth. Everyone started to question Jella. How on earth did you provoke these ghosts? Inevitably, Jella had to tell the truth. 10 years ago, she had an empty case. It's exactly the same as it is now. At that time, all the passengers went crazy. In the end, she was the only one who survived. Jella just realized this plane was the one that happened that year. She flashed her flashlight, found scratches all over the cabin door. Just when everyone was in a daze, 3 dead air sisters suddenly appeared. Everyone was so scared that they ran away, but the girl fell and was left behind. Ajay wanted to escape, but the cabin door was locked by a couple. When I went back to look for my girlfriend, she had been possessed by the evil spirit. Ajay went up and punched. Then, he picked up the fire extinguisher. He smashed her to death. When everyone got together, Big Sister found her daughter missing. So everyone decided to split up. You two take people to the cargo hold. Break the tool of the cockpit. Big Sister and the monk went to find the missing daughter, only to see an old lady lying on the ground. The monk wanted her to rest in peace. I didn't expect the other party to suddenly come to life. Just lay down on the Big Sister. Big Sister kicked him away. People will get angry in extreme fear, only to see him run to the dining car quickly. After solving the old lady, the monk also became a ghost in his eyes. At this time, the Big Sister has gone crazy. An unknowing woman came to help with the monk, was smashed to death by a wine bottle on the spot. The monk was scared, run into the cargo hold to find the big army. At the same time, when Away and others were looking for the tool, 3 long-legged nuns suddenly fell from the sky. They saw nowhere to escape, can only close their eyes to face the fear in their hearts. Fortunately, they made a bet. The evil spirit as a soul can't hurt them directly, but at this time, Ajay opened his eyes in advance. As a result, he turned around. Ajay was so scared that he collapsed. Hold the axe and chop it. Just in time. This is a drill. They gradually realized the evil spirit killer relies on the fear in people's hearts. Everyone gathered their courage and returned to the cabin. This place has long been occupied by the evil spirit. Everyone can only walk slowly in fear. Soon, they were stopped by the evil spirit. Ajay thought the other party could not hurt himself. Unexpectedly, he was sent to hell in the next second. The one who killed him was the Big Sister before. At this time, he was blinded by the evil spirit, became a killing machine. At this time, the plane suddenly tilted, caused the food truck to rush to the crowd quickly. The knife of the 3 fall hit the Big Sister's chest, passed out on the spot. However, the evil spirit was determined not to let go of the G. Under their intimidation, Ajay had no choice but to tell the truth. It turned out that in that air raid, Ajay was too scared, so he hid in the driver's seat. No one is allowed to come in. When he saw someone trying to open the door by force, he hit his colleague to death with the cabin door. Just when Ajay repented, the dead Big Sister stood up again. He grabbed Ajay, want to kill him alive. But at this time, the plane began to crash rapidly. The food truck slid over again. Ajay finally got off the line. Then they smashed a hole in the driver's cabin. As expected, the captain died early. Away quickly controlled the plane. This is the time to return to normal. At the moment when the plane was about to reach the ground, the plane also slowly recovered from the crash. Then a large number of rescuers rushed to the scene. Away and others were also rescued. But the strange thing is, the jailer stood at the boarding gate. Didn't come down until he saw the rescuers passing through his body. It turned out that when Jilla was fighting, he was already dead in the hands of the Big Sister. He finally paid a painful price for his actions. The soul was forever trapped on the plane. Later, this plane, numbered 407, was put back in the warehouse by the airline and promised never to start again.